The Aviation Matters bring you all the latest information and events across the country under the Honorable Minister of Aviation on executives, policies, projects, and everything that's related to the aviation transportation industry. Stay tuned.
As we conclude the first series of the Aviation Matter under the leadership of Senator Hadi Serika, the Honourable Minister of Aviation, this episode will summarise the high points of achievement so far in the aviation sector. It was noted that the ministry was once empowered under the Nigerian Civil Aviation Act of 1964 to make policies and regulate air navigation. The Ministry of Aviation also ensures that the Nigerian aviation sector conforms within the requirements of the International Civil Aviation Organization, the global body for setting the international standards for aviation industry. It also noted that for the ministry to succeed, a lot of departments handle professional duties and make policies that regulate the success of the aviation sector, which includes human resource management, airport management, safety and technical policy, aerodrome, procurement, planning, research and statistics, finance and accounts. At the beginning, the minister briefed State House correspondents on the achievements of the ministry under President Muhammadu Buhari and its desirous efforts of supporting the development of dedicated cargo allied terminals and ancillary infrastructure to take advantage of the fresh produce potentials of Nigeria. The nation's economy has been greatly boosted, thereby creating more export to earn foreign exchange, transfer of technology, and create employment for its youths with the establishment of the Argo Allied Cargo Terminals, the minister stated.
We found out too many things are wrong with the sector at the time that we came in. And we came in when, of course, the country was in recession. Or immediately after we entered, it went deep into recession. So, of course, there was an inadequate security, safety, and surveillance equipment. And you know that in civil aviation, our major concern is how very safe and secure you depart point A and arrive at point B and everything in between. This is our primary concern, it's our focus. It is what we want to do, not anything else. Yes, we may have fantastic terminal buildings that looks great, but you have to arrive there safely and be secured before you're able to enjoy those terminal buildings. Then we thought that we should develop an agro-air cargo terminals that will be exporting and also transporting within the country perishable items, especially those that are like medicines, like food, tomato, chili, onions, and so on.
The minister also said all has been put in place to establish an aerospace university to establish the challenges of qualified and specialized manpower in the nation aviation sector, noting that the university would be world class and would collaborate with some famous institutions.
So we think that we should have a university to go deeply into research and development and focus on research and development and create those opportunities within our sector. Turn out those young men and women with good brains to go into the venture of aerospace, the venture of aviation, and make a lot of money and earn income for our country and develop our capacity and change the narratives.
In this recap, we have seen how the minister reassures Nigerians of the government's readiness to establish a nationwide courier, which he said will run by a private company, of which the government will hold 5% stake. Nigerian entrepreneurs will hold 46%, while the remaining 49% will be reserved for yet to be assigned strategic equity partners, including foreign investors. The venture is expected to generate about 70,000 jobs. Serika had shortly after coming to the office in 2015 launched an aviation development roadmap that included a new national courier and other interventions in the country's aviation sector as priorities. The project, a public-private partnership, is to replace Nigerian Airways, which ceased to operate in 2003. The Honorable Minister of Aviation Hadi has also presented a proposed budget of over 60 billion naira for capital projects for the ministry in the year 2022 to the National Assembly. The minister said efforts will be geared towards sustaining the infrastructural renewal at our airports nationwide by continuing with the remodeling projects and upgrading the necessary air navigational and weather forecast equipment. He further added that the ministry is determined to ensure that the nation's airports and all the needed equipment necessary for safety and security are provided to meet global standards as outlined by the universal aviation bodies such as the International Civil Aviation Organization, the World Meteorological Organization Airport Council International, and International Airport Association.
Aviation has grown to become the fastest growing sector of the Nigerian economy during our tenure. We've improved on the number of airports, Mr. Chairman, sir. By the time that we would be leaving in 2023, God willing, Mr. Chairman would have doubled the number of airports in Nigeria.
Civil aviation is a critical element in Nigerian transportation system and indeed its economy. Nigeria has over 20 airports and many regulated airstrips and heliports, 23 active domestic airlines, over 554 licensed pilots. Nigeria, being Africa's most populous country, is an important destination for over 22 foreign carriers. Nigeria currently has bilateral air service agreements with over 78 countries. In this recap, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria (FAN) is a service organization statutorily charged to manage all commercial airports in Nigeria and provide services to both passengers and cargo airlines. The managing director and chief executive of FAN, Captain Yadudu, said Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria as a public organization facilitates unique airport transport services which is targeted at bringing the organization amongst the best airport groups in the world. Captain Yadudu also said that the organization is working hard to improve its services at the various airports across the country.
Our responsibilities are to provide world-class, safe, secure, and standard airport services to all our customers. And the fact that all our customers and other stakeholders are still working with us, no one is worried or scared to go to our airports. We are getting recognition within Nigeria and outside Nigeria in terms of our service delivery. And of course, this is all due to our very strict and consistent work in compliance with the regulations as sent down through ICAO and domesticated by our Civil Aviation Authority. I believe our achievements so far are commendable. In the last 4 years alone, FAN has done a lot in ensuring and improving safety and security across our airports.
He also went on to say that the organization has yielded substantial benefits in terms of enhanced efficiency, growth, better service delivery in the nation's aviation sector. On his achievement after taking over the leadership of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Yadudu went on to say that the viewers have seen the Muritala Mohammed International Airport as one of the main gateway airports in Nigeria. Located in Lagos, Ikeja, the airport was named after former Nigerian military head of state General Muritala Ramat Mohammed. The airport manager, Mrs. Sheena Abba, talks more about the history of the airport and the services rendered by FAN and many more.
FAN is the airport operator. We operate the airport. So every other agency is a service provider. And our major duty, just like our core value, is first and foremost security, safety, and passenger comfort. So all that we do is around these three main values. And you know, we are to profitably manage the airport. So, what do? We provide all the facilities for the airlines to operate, from aircraft operation to passenger facilitation, security, meet and greet.
Two other important airports in Nigeria are Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport is the prime international airport of the capital city of Nigeria. Situated in the Federal Capital Territory, it's located 40 kilometers from Abuja. Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano is a pioneer airport in Nigeria located in Kano City, and it's historic to the aviation industry in the country. In 2020, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, received the 2020 Airport Service Quality Award from the Airport Council International. The award went to NAIA as the best airport by size and region, recorded between 5 million and 15 million passengers per year in Africa.
By 2020, the airport was able to receive the Airport Service Quality Awards. You can see it there, and I want you to capture it. These are assessments done by passengers online. You know, from time to time, our officers go with laptops and meet our customers to signify their experiences in the airport, which they indicate on the online, and it immediately goes to Montreal, Canada, where we have been assigned. So as at last year, Abuja Airport was able to receive the ASQ, that is Airport Service Quality Award, which means that our passengers, appreciate us as much as we also appreciate them.
Akanu Ibuam International Airport, Enugu, and the Port Harcourt International Airport. History has it that the colonialists had established 3 aerodromes in Enugu, Calabar, and Port Harcourt for easy movement of the administrators. According to the airport manager, Mrs. Uguama, Fan renders a lot of services at the airport, which she took time out to explain.
We render all aircraft operations, passengers movements, and cargo operations. Also, chartered flights come in here and go. They're all attended to.
While noting that the airport provides good business opportunities for profitable investment to all categories of investors, she said FAN is ready to partner with competent private investors to develop its facilities. The Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, Kaduna State, which was established in 1964 and charged with the responsibility of training pilots, air traffic controllers, aircraft maintenance engineers, aeronautical telecommunication engineers, cabin crews, flight dispatchers, and several other aviation professionals. The Nigerian College of Aviation Technology was formally inaugurated in 1964 through an Act of Parliament. It began operations in 1966 with technical support from the United Nations Development Programme and the International Civil Aviation Organization.
Nigeria College of Aviation Technology is a premier college of aviation in West Africa. It was founded by the Act of Parliament 31, 1964, and as amended. And they are saddled with aviation courses in training pilots, engineers, operation management that has to do with aviation. And we are also saddled with training of approved persons in the installation, maintenance, and operations of technical equipments and other equipment that has to do with aviation in the whole. And we are one of the biggest aviation schools in West Africa. We comprises of other schools within the college.
The federal government, in order to enhance the training of firemen under the auspices of aerodrome rescue and firefighting services, has installed firefighting simulation equipment at the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology. Following the installation of the simulator, officers of the firefighting department don't have to travel to Cameroon again for fire simulations.
And also, I would like to mention the firefighting simulator that we have, which is a new one, not yet commissioned. It's one of the best in West Africa, one of the biggest. It's computerized. You can control where the fire starts, and you can put out the fire without the help of the firefighters. So The controller will be inside a control room, and he will now dictate where the fire goes in a simulated fashion, and they will now train how to put out the fire.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, regulatory body for the aviation industry in Nigeria, the NCAA, became autonomous with the passing into law of Civil Aviation Act 2006 by the National Assembly and assent by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Act not only empowers the authority to regulate aviation safety without political interference, but also carry out oversight functions of the airport, airspace, meteorological services, as well as economical regulations of the industry.
Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, otherwise known as by the acronym NCAA, is the sole regulatory body of the entire civil aviation in Nigeria. We regulate all civil aviation activities, both public and private. So we ensure compliance not only with our own Nigerian civil aviation regulations, but compliance with international standards and recommended practices as issued by the International Civil Aviation Organization. For the civil aviation industry to be functioning in the way it is, that means we have achieved our mandate. Is there room for progress? Certainly. There's a room for significant progress, and we're working towards achieving that. We issue licenses, we issue certificates, we issue approvals, and we do accreditations for approved training organizations, for approved maintenance organizations. That is all part and parcel of regulatory function. And we issue those, and we do continuing oversight to ensure compliance by the recipients with the terms and conditions of these issuances.
Aviation, under the leadership of Senator Hadi Serika, can boast of improved aviation infrastructure facilities at the airport, state-of-the-art navigational aids, modern weather forecast equipment, highly skilled manpower to ensure the safety and comfort of the flying public. From the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, we move to the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, which was established by the Nigerian government in 1999, responsible for provision of air navigation services throughout the Nigerian flight information region. The agency operational base is at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport and provides air traffic control, air navigation, charting, and consulting services. NAMA also strives to develop the Nigerian airspace infrastructure to a level consistent with the requirements of the ICAO standards and recommended practices. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the organization, Captain Fola Akinkutu, talks more about NAMA.
NAMA was established by Decree number 48 with a commencement date of 26th of May in 1999, with the statutory responsibility of providing safe, efficient, effective, and economic air navigation services to airspace users. That is the mandate. So NAMA will just have, Nigeria Airspace Agency, I always refer to NAMA during the conversation, has the primary responsibility and sole responsibility in this country to provide air traffic management services. That's the mandate of NAMA. And we can distill some of these things because when you look at what we are supposed to do, provide a safe, effective, efficient, and economic air navigation services, it will not be unusual to have a vision. NAMA vision is to be one of the leading air navigation service providers in the world. One of the leading. Your vision begins to define where you want to go.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, the agency charged with the responsibility to advise the government on all aspects of meteorology projects, prepare and interpret government policies in the field of meteorology, and to issue weather forecasts for the safe operations of aircraft, ocean-going vessels, and oil rigs. The Act also makes the responsibility of the agency to observe, collate, collect, process and disseminate all meteorological data and information within and outside, coordinate research activities among staff, and publish scientific papers in the various branches of meteorology in support of sustainable socioeconomic activities in Nigeria. The Director General of NIMET, Professor Mansour Bakumatazi, speaks more on the mandate of the agency.
NIMET, as the name implies, is the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, charged with the responsibility of advising government, especially federal government and other strata of governments on all aspects of weather, climate, and water-related issues in support for sustainable national development and also for safety of lives and property in the country. We have specialized products for health. We have direct focal point that is collaborating with Center for Disease Control and also Federal Ministry of Health, Department of Public Health. So we provide them information and focus on meningitis. We provide on also high temperature that can trigger heat stroke. So in this, we have new products, climate and health bulletin that we'll share with you after this interview. And this bulletin also is being shared at the Federal Executive Council, which provides not only weather and climate-related disease focus, but also advisories and on even status of medication. There are certain weather and climate scenarios that can affect even the performance of the medicaments that we have. And so in that bulletin, it provides such information. So we do all these in three layers, as I made mention. One layer is that we give public weather forecast for public, the one we publish and then broadcast on NTA and other media outlets to public on daily basis. And we also do support services, like I mentioned, through partnership with these MDAs. And then we do tailor-made products and services for an organization or a company or consortium that is working in a particular field and it requires long-term or tailor-made service. We provide such focus and products which helps in implementing and reducing loss in all facets of the Nigerian economy: agriculture, water resources, maritime, oil and gas. We provide such tailor-made services.
Accident Investigation Bureau is an agency under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Aviation and is charged with the responsibility to investigate any civil aircraft accident and serious incidents arising out of or in the course of air navigation and occurring either in or over Nigeria or occurring to Nigerian aircraft elsewhere. The fundamental objective of AIB is to improve aviation safety by determining the circumstances and causes of air accidents and serious incidents and providing safety recommendations intended to prevent reoccurrence of similar accidents. The purpose of this is not to apportion blame or liability. ABI Commissioner Engineer Akin gave an insight on the activities of the Bureau and its achievements so far.
When you look at AIB prior this administration, I would say was an agency of government nearly, not functioning. Yes, we had staff very, I would say, motivation, morale was at the lowest at the time. When we came in, I will put it into four categories because when you do an evaluation of any institution, it's better to break it down to four parts. Uh, Irrespective of your industry or what you do, you're always going to have infrastructure, you're always going to have equipment, you are always going to have human capital, and you're always going to have systems, processes, and procedures. So I'm going to put all that into these four categories. Um, in terms of infrastructure, uh, AIB was operating out of Lagos and Abuja at the time. Yes, contract was awarded way before we came in for Enugu and Kano regional offices to come on board, but we ensured that was done in time, and that was completed and was commissioned by this current Honorable Minister of Aviation. So, in terms of infrastructure, uh, we added two more regional offices. Um, we set up what we call a command and control center in Lagos because Lagos has the highest aircraft movement in Nigeria. Because if you look at aeroplanes and helicopters, etc., you'll agree with me, there's more movement in Lagos. So we needed to monitor those movement. We needed to monitor air traffic controllers' communication with the pilots. We needed to monitor um, because when there's a crash anywhere in the world, you'll be shocked that the first information will come from the social media.
The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport Lagos Terminal, built by the Chinese construction giant CCECC, working with four local consulting firms, is equipped with 66 check-in counters, 5 baggage collection carousels, 16 NOS immigration desks at arrival, and 28 decks at departure. The terminal is expected to generate direct and indirect employment for Nigerians, as well as enhance passengers' facilitation and comfort at the Lagos airport. The president, in his address, described the terminal as world-class facility and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to development of similar infrastructures across all sectors in the Nigerian economy. President Muhammadu Buhari also reaffirms his government's decision to concession about 4 airport terminals, which includes Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt, noting that it would propel the development of the new terminals and create more jobs for qualified Nigerians. The Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi, assured Nigerians that the Ministry of Aviation was committed to the proper maintenance of all terminal buildings and would integrate them with other infrastructures to ensure that passengers and other users have pleasant experience each time they make use of them. He expressed his gratitude for being part of the process that produced infrastructure being commissioned by the president and noted that it will see growth of the aviation industry.
For me, I am only opportuned and lucky to be part of the process that produced this infrastructure and this particular procurement. But for the country, it means growth of civil aviation. Civil aviation has a uniqueness of interconnecting and interacting economies, promoting trade, commerce, and tourism, and ensuring that the total national GDP is improved. Civil aviation is the only way to integrate Africa to create the necessary interaction for social development of the people of Africa. If you imagine having to do roads and rails to connect every single nation within Africa, the quantum of money required to do that, the sustenance and the maintenance of those infrastructure is impossible. Civil aviation will connect you faster, quicker, and 100 million% cheaper. It has that uniqueness. 1 mile long road leads to nowhere. 1 mile long runway leads to everywhere. The connection between country and country, economy and economy, commerce and commerce means and equals to growth for the well-being, general well-being of the economy of the nation.
Ben Television is committed to educating Nigerians, especially diasporans, on the achievement of the Federal Ministry of Aviation as you keep watching the aviation matter on this station. We hope to bring you the second series of the program soon.